Hello, and welcome to our second Game Jam Devlog. We created this project for the Game Jobs Live Game Parade 2020. Initially, we were confused as to how to incorporate the chosen theme of Carpe Diem into the game. We spent the first few hours discussing possible interpretations, what it meant to us, and what games came to mind. Eventually, one of our members suggested using an anagram generator. We discovered that the term could actually be rephrased into Die Camper. This sparked a discussion on how we could relate camping to the Latin translation of Carpe Diem, which is seize the day. From this, we got inspired by the movie The World's End and came up with a game about a group of middle-aged university graduates reflecting on their old days together as they reunite at a camping trip in an attempt to seize the day. As a team, we'd never worked on a story-based game before, and it was a fun learning experience. The art this time around was quite similar to the last Game Jam. We modelled everything in Blender with a low poly art style. We also textured everything inside Blender using a single colour grid texture. This allowed us to quickly apply base colours to all of our meshes and not add too much detail we didn't have time for. In terms of tech, the biggest challenge was clearly the dialogue and choice mechanics. While what was made did work in theory and was built entirely from scratch, it was not necessarily very optimized and had some issues that we were unable to fix before submission. Perhaps looking into how other mechanics worked in other games would have helped us learning this new system. Creating the minigames themselves was simple. However, in order to incorporate them into the dialogue, they needed a little tweaking. Lastly, let me pass over to Tom to talk about his role in development and final thoughts.
Hello, my name is Tom Paul. On this jam, I focused a bit more on the art side of game development. I started with setting the scenes up to each have their own persistent levels. This was done as to load up a single level for each scene every time the story progressed. I was also modelling a ton, making sure we had a good starting amount of assets to populate the scene. I was imagining this project would be using Unreal's preset dialogue tree to deliver each line and event attached to those lines. But unfortunately, since Harry and I never worked with dialogue trees, the idea had to be scrapped for a clunky array instead. Part of me thought this was a real upgrade on the last jam. I thought this game was way more rich in terms of gameplay mechanics and narrative. It's unfortunate we didn't really make it on time, but I made sure to fix all major bugs after the game jam ended to pay my respects to the project properly. Once again, the team worked beautifully together. There were some ups and downs in terms of team morale, affecting attendance, but this was understandable from the huge amount of work we put on the last project without a break in between jams.
Links to our Twitch and the game are in the description. Thanks for watching. This was all made possible thanks to George Dyson, Zara Nelson, Max Izakov, Tom Paul, Harry Williams, Kushlan O'Brien, Sean Croucher, Ezekiel Abrahams, and me, Theo Rust.